This is Capsule on liveinlimbo.com. My name is Sean Chin.
And I am Andreas Babiolakis. This is an audio experience where we take you on an adventure to music, film, and pop culture. But today, primarily film. The 86 Academy Awards will be on March 2nd this year, and what a year it has been for films. We haven't had a year this good since, in my personal opinion, 2010, with films like 127 Hours, The Social Network, Inception, The King's Speech, Black Swan, and more. This year, however, we've been blessed with a large amount of excellent films, of which we'll get into later on in the podcast. And with a very stable list of Best Picture nominees, we just thought it was fitting, Sean and myself, on Capsule's first year that we make an Oscar debate and discussion podcast. But we needed to complete the roundtable off, so we have invited Dakota Arsenault, of whom you know on Live in Limbo as a film and concert reviewer, and for his excellent Oscar primers, and Adrianna Floridia, a colleague of mine who writes her own film reviews and has her popular YouTube channel, Fresh from the Theater. How are you both doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you guys?
I'm good too.
Hey, this is awesome. We have an expert panel right here. I'm so happy because I did no research for this except watching the films.
Yeah.
I've never been called an expert before, so let's hope it goes well.
Yeah, me too.
It should be all right. We've got somebody who's Sean's just watched everything, so we'll see how his opinion differs from everybody else's, so this will be interesting.
Everyone here's watched everything, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Except for the foreign.
Yeah, okay.
Those are hard this year. There's a couple of them that are a little hard to find.
Yeah, for sure. And
I feel accomplished. I've seen them all. I feel accomplished.
Really? Oh my
good
God.
job.
Wait,
Where did you see the
That's
missing
the
picture
shorts,
of
too.
Omar?
Omar actually saw a TIFF. Funny story about Omar. That's a good way to start off. I went to Toronto International Film Festival with one of my best friends, and we just went to a whole slew of films, and we basically went on a whim. Okay, what's getting a lot of buzz, this and that, and we went to go see Omar. Now, I personally thought Omar was pretty good, and she just didn't like it at all. So when we saw that it was on the long list, she was kind of annoyed, and the fact that it's made it here, she's like freaking out. Why is this film making it and not Blue is the Warmest Color? This is awful. This is blasphemy. So she's not happy at all.
Yeah.
That's the only way I got to see it.
There were some good foreign films that did not make the cut, like even on the longer list, which was really upsetting. Like Father, Like Son, which I saw at TIFF. I was really disappointed. I don't think Japan even chose it as their film, which is stupid.
No, didn't they choose Miyazaki or?
Yeah, something like that. So I'm upset. I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm upset with Blue is the Warmest Color. I terrifically enjoyed that film, and that didn't even make the short list, did it?
No, that's because they have this rule in, I guess it was in France or something. No, the Academy has a rule that the movie has to be released at a certain time in its home country for it to qualify for the Oscar nomination.
Right.
And the director of the movie was like, no, I'm going to release this movie whenever I want to. And it was like a difference of a week or something. It was really stupid. And it didn't qualify at all because it came out at a certain time that didn't qualify. It's just...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film, though. So
yeah, it's really great.
It might be eligible next year. I'm not positive, just because like The Hunt, the film from Denmark, that was released back in 2012, and now it's only eligible this year.
Yeah, so that might happen, but the buzz might like really die down for Blue is the Warmest Color by the time.
You never know, because it's getting a Criterion release, right? And
that's true,
yeah. So who knows? Maybe it'll just keep going, because The Hunt had a kind of a resurface when it hit North America, right? So
yeah.
All right, cool. So we're actually going to get more into that kind of thing, like who shouldn't have been nominated, who should have, a little bit later on. But first of all, especially because we have people like Sean who just have only seen the films and have no real expertise. I'm kidding.
No. I'm not the film expert by any means.
We're going to see how legitimate everybody really is with a little 5-question trivia that I put together.
Jesus
so,
Christ.
See, Sean had no idea of this beforehand. I refused to tell him.
I let Andreas go. Like he programmed this whole episode.
Uh-oh.
Right. So
I have no control here.
I tried to make it a bit tricky. So if you get any of these right, awesome. If you don't, then that's all right, because I tried to make them a bit tricky. But you know,
all right, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Yep, let's do this. All right. So these are all Academy Award based, so on wins, and that's basically it. So the first question, each answer will have 5 options, and there's 5 questions in total.
Okay.
Question number 1. Which of these people have not won an Academy Award? Have not won an Academy Award. Number 1, Christopher Walken. Number 2, Mel Brooks. Number 3, Nicolas Cage. Number 4, Gary Oldman. Number 5, Whoopi Goldberg. Now, we're actually going to go in alphabetical order. So apart from myself, Adrianna, you get to go first. This will be for the entire podcast,
Okay.
by the way. So,
Gary Oldman.
Dakota?
Gary Oldman.
Sean?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Of course, Sean chose his true colors. The answer is Gary Oldman.
Oh my god.
I believe Whoopi won for what was it, Ghost?
Yeah,
Yep.
she was for Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
my god. Okay.
And that was an easy question. So, a bit trickier, since this is like the 80 plus Academy Award nomination or ceremonies. Let's go back to 1927. What was the very first film to ever win for Best Picture?
Wait, we weren't alive back then. Okay.
You have Wikipedia, Sean.
You don't know this one?
Number 1, Sunrise: A Song of Two Humans. Number 2, All Quiet on the Western Front. Number 3, Wings. Number 4, Metropolis. Number 5, The Passion of Joan of Arc. Adrianna?
Oh my god, I'm between 2 of them, but I'm gonna say Sunrise.
Dakota?
Wings.
Sean?
I'll say that.
I've never heard of any of those, so I will go
Take a
with
guess.
Wings. That sounds like the coolest answer.
Well, Sean, that's... You don't really get it right because you guessed it. But yeah, the answer is Wings.
And I copied Dakota.
I knew it was
Exactly.
Sunrise.
So next time Sean guesses first.
Okay, yeah, do that next then.
I tried to throw in like Sunrise and Metropolis because I know they were huge, so just to throw people off. But here's one that hopefully isn't too tricky. Which of these directors have only won once and not twice? Only once and not twice.
Okay, I'll go first.
Uh,
Give me your options.
all right. Number 1, Steven Spielberg. Number 2, Francis Ford Coppola. Number 3, Clint Eastwood. Number 4, Billy Wilder. Number 5, Ang Lee. Floridia, since you're alphabetically first, you go first.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna say Ang Lee. But no, that's wrong. I already know it's wrong. Can I take it back?
yeah, go for it. It's not even final.
Clint Eastwood.
Okay, Dakota.
Oh, geez. I can eliminate a few off the top of my head, but there's still at least 2 of them there. Can you repeat it again?
Steven Spielberg, Francis Ford Coppola, Clint Eastwood, Billy Wilder, and Ang Lee.
You know, I'm going to go Coppola.
Okay.
I'll go with
Sean?
Ang Lee.
Ang Lee is wrong.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Clint Eastwood is also wrong. He won for Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby. Surprisingly, it's Francis Ford Coppola. He only won once.
Because wasn't it Godfather 2 only won Best Picture, but not Best Director?
Yep, you're absolutely right. This guy's good. This guy's
Son of a bitch.
Dakota's good. I was surprised to find out that he actually didn't win for Godfather Part 1, which is a bit bizarre, but there you have it. This one's, I think, possibly the trickiest because, well, you'll see.
Okay.
Back in 1992, well, I've basically given it away now, but let's give it a shot anyway. So. Which supporting actress had a rumor created of them saying that they actually didn't win and that the announcer Jack Palance had announced the wrong name at the ceremonies? You already know Dakota, right?
I do.
All right, so which supporting actress actually did win but supposedly didn't because of a rumor? Number 1, Marissa Tomei for My Cousin Vinny. Number 2, Vanessa Redgrave for Julia. Number 3, Jennifer Hudson, Dreamgirls. Number 4, Meryl Streep for Kramer and Kramer. Number 5, Jennifer Connelly, A Beautiful Mind. I basically gave it away by stating the year. Dakota, I'll let you go last, but Adrianna?
Marissa Tomei.
Sean?
I'm gonna say Connolly.
Okay. Dakota?
Tomei.
Sean, I bet you feel kind of foolish now, don't you?
Yeah. Aren't I like 0 for 4 or 5 now? I think.
Well, you
I got one. Wings, which I
because
copied.
You cheated. Yes, it's Marissa Tomei, who apparently didn't win for My Cousin Vinny, and there was a huge uproar, so the Academy had to state that they would actually have people going on stage if they actually announced the wrong name. This one's kind of a novelty question. It's pretty easy, but let's just go for it. poor Leonardo DiCaprio has not won a single award. But
Really?
no, he hasn't.
Oh my god.
So if I put him on the first question, you would have not guessed him, right?
No.
All right, so it's a huge joke online. He's never won an award. And so which of these films has he not been nominated for? And not won for, but which of these films has he not been nominated for? What's Eating Gilbert Grape, The Departed, Wolf of Wall Street, Blood Diamond, and The Aviator? Adrianna?
The Aviator.
Dakota?
The Departed.
Oh.
And Sean?
The Aviator.
Adrianna, did you want to change your answer? Because I kind of heard your reaction to Dakota.
Yeah, I get. He was right. I remember.
Yeah.
After.
Only Mark Wahlberg was nominated for The Departed.
Yeah.
Yo, I get to
Dakota,
change my answer
5
too,
of 5.
right? I get to change my answer too.
Sure. Well, no, because I didn't hear any expression of dismay, where it's like, oh, why did I guess that?
All of my picks are questionable. So
yeah. It was The Departed because basically they decided to promote Blood Diamond instead. So there you go.
Right.
Good job, guys. So I do have
except
some
me.
qualified people here. Well, you kind of have to be here because you're kind of like mediating everybody in Skype. So we have to leave.
Exactly.
All right. So now that I know that you guys have some good knowledge on the Academy itself, let's go into the politics of everything. This year, 2014, the day that the nominees were announced, who were you pleased to see and who were you just completely dumbfounded as to why they were even there or why they weren't? Let's start off with some actual categories. Any actors that you guys were really wanting to see that weren't nominated? Adrianna?
For Best Actor?
Or any acting nominee?
Oh, any acting nominees. That weren't nominated. Okay, I know it was a long shot. I really wanted James Franco to be nominated for Spring Breakers.
You know what? That doesn't seem like it would have been entirely impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Like, there was a bit of buzz for a while, and then once he didn't get I think it was the Independent Spirit nomination, I'm like, hey, there's no chance he could get the Oscar nomination. Would have been nice to see Joaquin Phoenix be nominated for Her.
Yes,
I was gonna say that Joaquin Phoenix should be nominated.
Yes. And as for actress, there was so many. Like, I'm really not disgusted, that's a strong word, but I'm really not pleased with the Best Actress in a Leading Role category.
Really?
Because yeah, the only people that deserve to be there are really Cate Blanchett and Judi Dench. The rest of them I thought were like whatever. I would have put in Brie Larson for Short 12, as well as Julie Delpy for Before Midnight. Maybe Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Enough Said. Actually, I think it was at the Golden Globes that category was a lot stronger than this one. I'm not a fan of Gravity or American Hustle. Or
I've seen what you said about that. No, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. It's unfortunate because I saw Short Term 12 too late, so I couldn't include it in my lists at the end of the year. But when I saw it, instantly I said, Meryl Streep, I think you're brilliant. I think you're a great actress. But I would easily switch you out for Brie Larson. I'm really sorry. But that's honestly how I would feel. If you haven't seen Short Term 12, Dakota and Sean, you've seen Short Term 12, right, Dakota?
I have not actually.
Oh, you've got to. This is like an up-and-comer actress that just nails it. Fantastic.
I know her from Scott Pilgrim.
Right.
Yeah. Her as Envy Adams.
There you go. Exactly. I first knew of her on Spectacular Now, and then when I heard that she was like in Short Term 12 and she was 10 times better, I was like, okay, I've got to see it. Completely different person. Great actress.
Great.
Fantastic. No, I agree with Brie Larson. I don't know. I kind of like Sandra Bullock and Best Actress, but the other Amy Adams I like as well. But if she were to be replaced, I mean, like, I'm a big fan of hers, but if she were to be replaced, it wouldn't have affected me. I just want Cate Blanchett to win. That's it.
Well, Blanchett's gonna win, so it doesn't really matter. Like,
exactly.
It's owned by Cate Blanchett, but the rest of the nominees, I was just like, really disappointed with that list. So.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, Best Actor was a bit tough because there were just too many, right? Too many that just couldn't fit.
I'm glad with the people that made it for Best Actor. I mean, I probably wouldn't put Christian Bale.
Same.
There.
Right.
The other four are all, like, I'd be really happy with any of those other four actors winning.
No,
for me, as far as Best Actor goes, like, I'm fine with the four, other than Christian Bale. And, like, if I was to replace him, there would be at least 3 or 4 other guys, of course, Joaquin Phoenix, but also Oscar Isaac from Inside Llewyn Davis.
Cut out, and I'm really upset about that too.
I'm kind of surprised that Tom Hanks didn't get nominated for Captain Phillips.
That's who it was, yeah. Tom Hanks.
And then the other one was Robert Redford from All Is Lost.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I was missing. Robert Redford and Joaquin Phoenix were the 2 that I was surprised not to see. Tom Hanks, I really, really enjoyed as well, but I wasn't as big as other people were. I mean, like, Robert Redford blew me away, and Joaquin Phoenix was basically by himself doing a one-person show for the majority of the film. That's really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tom Hanks in that scene at the end of Captain Phillips with a shock, like, how can you even act that out? That was amazing.
That's the thing. That's why it's one of his best performances. The ending was
but he's
just
not nominated.
Phenomenal.
So.
No.
And like that's why I was surprised that he wasn't nominated, just because the Academy loves him so much. He's been nominated so many times. He's won twice. I was surprised that he didn't make the cut.
Yeah, especially when Captain Phillips made it a lot of places. It's not like they didn't acknowledge the movie. Like Abdi got nominated, got picture and whatever. Someone else I forgot to mention that really should have been nominated, but now I'm not sure if it was a qualification thing. Adele, whatever her name is, should have definitely been nominated for Best Actress as well.
And Lea Seydoux as well for Best Supporting.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because they're both fantastic. I think that's a qualification thing as well.
Yeah, could be that. But
do you have any other picks, Dakota, that didn't make it? Or
really, I think Inside Llewyn Davis should have received a hell of a lot more nominations than it did in almost every category. That was one of my favorites of the year.
Me too.
Especially music. Well, what happened there?
Their songs didn't qualify. Only one song, I believe, was probably was it the one with the Mumford and Sons? No, it wasn't even that one. That one didn't qualify either. It was only the Please Mr. Kennedy that qualified.
Yeah.
They all, like, not remakes, but they were, like, not... They were
inspired by original songs from the 60s.
Okay, well, that's
they said it wasn't original enough.
So this is like Johnny Greenwood with There Will Be Blood all over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
That's unfortunate because great soundtracks, both of them, but what can you do? Sean, what about you? Any actors?
Wait. Quick question. How come every single category has like 5 nominees except the film of the year and then has like 9?
Film used to have only 5, but
that makes more sense.
In the 30s or whatever, they had that as well. What happened was, I don't know if this is 100% true, maybe Adrianna and Dakota could back me up on this. When The Dark Knight came out and that didn't get nominated, everybody was throwing their arms up in the air like, what is this? And so I think the Academy decided to open it up to between 6 to 10, so it could be like a top 10 kind of list of the year. Well, no, because it includes more nominees, and I think it's actually kind of better now, except for The Year with Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. That movie.
Don't get me started on that.
So it's open to like really bad films like that, but at the same time, for the most part, it kind of works because now it's got like a 10 best pictures of the year. Now you could have a lot of films. Well, because before it was kind of predictable because if you're a best director nominee, you were almost guaranteed best film, and there wasn't a lot to it, and
it's broadened their audience basically because that's probably why the Dark Knight thing, they wanted to expand it to more maybe like commercial friendly films and stuff, and expand the people who would watch the Oscars, because if you're only nominate those 5 films, it limits your audience a bit. But it's like a voting system where you have to get so many number 1 votes in order to be a Best Picture nominee.
Right.
So if you're nominated, like that many people put you at the number 1 slot. So I don't know how some of the movies get in, but this year's like pretty good for
this year's solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your picks?
It's routine. It is called like the Dark Knight rule, but it's also it's twofold because when they're selling the DVDs or in theaters still, they can say Best Picture nominee, when before it was only 5. You have more studios have a chance to have that. So, it is partially money related on their end, but I think in the end, everyone kind of wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And, like I said, before it was just, if you're a best director, you're almost guaranteed a best film. Now it's a lot of films. It's not just for like a lot more commercial films. I think it also highlights a lot of films that kind of get like shoved out of the way for some things to really shine. Like Her, for instance, Spike Jonze didn't get nominated for Best Director, but at least that gets, because it has so many other nominations, it gets to shine as a Best Picture nomination, and it gets a lot of people to watch it. So it's a blessing and a curse, because Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close shouldn't have been there, but for every one of that, you have something like Amour last year, or you have, you have like Dallas Buyers Club this year, which a lot of people really need to see.
Did not see that coming.
I'm really pleased that it did. Yeah, Sean, any actors that you think should have been there that weren't?
I was just gonna say Tom Hanks.
Just him?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And you already, do you want to add anything else to that or no?
No.
Right.
I don't want to dig a grave for myself.
Well, no, go for it.
If we're going to other categories and things like that, one category I was super disappointed with was hair and makeup. I know it's such a small thing, but
for sure. I wasn't going to go there, but
that's very important. What are you guys
all
talking
three
about?
of them, I was, they're fine and everything like that. But why was The Hobbit not there?
Why was that
their beards and stuff. There's a few other ones. I can't even think of. American Hustle, the hair was great in that.
I read this really cool article about Dallas Buyers Club that the makeup artist had a budget of $250.
I saw that too. Yeah.
For everything.
Wow.
So like dressing them up in like making them look sick and then making them look kind of healthy again, and like I don't know, in the article it said like sometimes 5 times in the same day they'd have to go back and forth, and she had to use like at home products that she had in her house and like all this stuff. It sounded like really impressive.
Is that true? Like why? Why would they limit that to
It's like such an independent movie. Like that movie had the smallest budget.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how much did they pay Jared Leto?
He probably got minimum.
Jared Leto hasn't really acted in a while, and he does really small movies. I don't think he's like big pricey actor. If anyone in that movie would be like Matthew McConaughey, and that's only recently that he's been so sought after. So
yeah, I'm really impressed with Matthew McConaughey because he showed a little bit of talent in the 90s. He really stuck to really schmaltzy rom-com films in most of the 2000s era, and now it's almost like a positive like midlife crisis almost, where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna change everything, and he's done really spectacular work. So 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh, I really can't stand that guy, but now I'm a huge fan. I think he's terrific. So you know what, good for him. If he wins, all for it, whatever.
I know he's really great in Dallas Buyers Club. So and
even
in
Bud.
I love Bud. Yeah.
Even Wolf of Wall Street, his small little cameo is one of the most memorable parts of the film. He's
exactly
perfect because you get to see what his words say ringing in Leonardo DiCaprio's performance the entire time. It's fantastic. So another category we'll dive into quickly is Best Director. Who didn't get nominated that you think should have? Adrianna, you go first.
The Coen brothers.
Oh, yes.
Is my first reaction. Even though Her was my favorite movie of the year, and I think Spike Jonze should have been too, but Inside Llewyn Davis, that movie was just, it's so brilliant, and the direction was so great, and I'm just so upset that it was so shut out.
Not even Best Picture. What happened there?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I can't believe how, because the Coen brothers usually do pretty good with the Academy, too. It's not like it wouldn't have been strange for them to be nominated.
For sure.
I don't know. My choices would be all kind of more, no one that I would ever expect to be nominated, but I would love to see Richard Linklater be nominated, or I think Before Midnight, again, completely neglected. It got a screenplay nomination, but just the brilliance of that movie, I don't know why it doesn't get more acclaim from the Academy. I don't know. And yeah, everything else, they wouldn't have been nominated anyway. There's no point in saying these names.
No, it's fine. No, I understand entirely. It's just really bizarre with the Coen brothers because, I mean, True Grit was a good film, but that got so many nominations, right? And I'm going to go out on a limb and put my neck on the line and say that I infinitely prefer Inside Llewyn Davis to True Grit.
That's
Llewyn
a controversial opinion.
Well, I'm going to stick to it. I mean, I didn't think True Grit was bad. I thought it was excellent, but
no, I agree with you.
Inside Llewyn Davis was something special. It a huge roller coaster of emotions. I was laughing. I was seeing myself in this character, feeling really, really emotional for this guy.
It's almost crazy because that's one of their best films, and I'd be hard pressed to say that's maybe their top 5.
Possibly.
Yeah.
just because they've got such a great career.
If not 10.
Yeah, you could probably make a top 10 Coen Brothers list and still argue over it.
And still get like really top class material there. They've only made like 1 or 2 bad films. It's really impressive.
The Lady Killers. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't want to get into that.
What's that one with Zeta Jones?
Oh, Intolerable
Cruelty.
Yeah. Not as bad as Lady Killers. That's
yes.
What about you, Dakota? Any directors you feel left out?
You know what? Like really, Coen Brothers as well. It's just such a shock. Maybe it was a weirder film for them. I don't know. But outside of that, maybe J.C. Chandor for All Is Lost. Just because I feel like watching that movie is the reason why people still make movies, because he's breaking the barriers of what you can do with a film, sort of thing. While it wasn't perfect, it was very new and refreshing.
Oh, it was a fantastic film. If anybody hasn't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's a one-man show with Robert Redford, spectacular work on cinematography, the music, very little dialogue. It's basically just a huge showmanship case for all the people involved filmmaking-wise, as little as possible, but as much as possible. It's a terrific film. And I think that should have gotten a lot more too, but it's what happens, right?
I think the lack of dialogue hurt it, maybe.
Maybe. Well, what about the artist? No, I'm kidding. That's different. Sean, what about you? Any directors you feel were snubbed?
Is Celium? Would that count as a film that could have been in it? Elysium. Neil. No. I like
First of all,
that film.
I don't know if it should have been. Secondly, a personal opinion, I don't think it should be.
Is that in the right year, though? It's in the right year.
Yeah, it's the right year,
okay.
at least, yeah.
So that would be Neil Blomkamp, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. Oh, no?
Fellow South African, wasn't too big on Elysium. I thought it was all right, but...
Maybe for like production or special effects.
Special effects, yeah.
Special effects were terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Oblivion, that's the one with Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah,
I like that too.
On that was fantastic.
Oblivion was great too.
It's too bad it was disappointing because visually it was fantastic. But...
Mm-hmm.
All right, the last one for snubs, and then we'll get into who shouldn't be there. Snubs for film. I guess we all agree on Inside Llewyn Davis, but are there any other picks, Adrianna?
Anchorman 2.
Oh, Sean, you could wait until the end.
Okay, sorry.
I guess I'll say again, Before Midnight. And also Prisoners, I would have liked to see get a nomination because I also really loved that film. I think that might be it. Oh, Short Term 12. I really wish it got nominated too.
Oh yeah, Short Term 12 for sure. Prisoners was actually, it didn't make my best films list, but I mean, it was a pretty solid film. I mean, there were some parts that were a little bit wonky, but overall, the acting and the directing were phenomenal. It was really good.
Yeah.
Dakota?
You know what? Like, I'm pretty happy with the list they have, and you know, outside going of some personal things, I don't see what else they could have maybe included other than Inside Llewyn Davis.
Fair enough. Sean, Anchorman 2, any other picks?
Okay, well, so this is like the first year where I actually tried to watch everything, and you recommended most of them to me, and then so when I compared that to the things I usually watch, I can't make any better choices. Like, these are all top-notch picks there. I agree with that.
Fair enough. Usually I agreed with what everybody was saying, and I still do hear it, but one I'm just going to add because it wasn't mentioned. Basically what you guys are with Inside Llewyn Davis and Before Midnight, I'm all for Spectacular Now. I think that film was extremely underestimated last year. It's really good acting-wise. The screenplay should have been nominated, I personally think. It was very, very realistic. It hit close to home for pretty much everybody I know that watched it. It was almost like a Short Term 12 kind of film, but obviously not, but the same kind of thing. A lot of realism, very to the point, very basic, short and sweet, just very organic. Fantastic film. That and Short Term 12.
The acting is really good and Spectacular Now.
Oh, it was brilliant. Shailene Woodley and
Miles Teller.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. He's almost like a Jonah Hill in that film.
Yeah.
His comedic timing is just impeccable. It's great.
He's awesome.
All right, so people who shouldn't be there. I think we kind of dived a little bit into this with the acting categories, but if you want any more people to criticize, now's the time to do it. Any actors who shouldn't have been there at all, Adrianna?
Okay, I guess I already said for actress, I would not have nominated Amy Adams, Sandra Bullock, or Meryl Streep.
Right.
Other than that, though, I don't know. Julia Roberts is fine. Like, Best Supporting Actress wasn't that strong of a year that I can really think of who else could have been nominated. So that's, like, fine. I think the nominees are really good this year in general. I wouldn't nominate, like, Christian Bale, but he was good. I don't know. I really, really hated American Hustle. Amy Adams, like, I know her character required her to play 2 accents or whatever, but, like, it was just, I felt like it was such a mess. It was just, like, all over the place. And that is not her best performance by any means. She's done so many better things.
The thing is, I really liked Amy Adams, and I'm fine with her being nominated. I liked American Hustle too. Don't get me wrong. I really liked it. I think it is extremely overrated, though.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely. I mean, I thought it was good.
The hype it's getting. I can't believe it's like one of the front runners for Best Picture.
Yeah, that's and like Best Director. I mean, David O. Russell. I mean, I've got nothing against the guy, but the only time I think he should have been possibly nominated was Silver Linings Playbook. Everything else is kind of, I don't get it. Like American Hustle was.
I like him as a director. I just thought this movie was like a mess. You can tell that they just kind of threw it together in the time that they did it. It's so, I don't know, everyone that I talk to about it who defends this movie says like, it's supposed to be like that. Like it's supposed to con the audience or whatever. I'm like, that feels like such a cop-out. Like, don't excuse the movie for being a bad movie. It's supposed to be a bad movie. Like, I don't understand.
Well, I agree that it's supposed to con the audience and all that, but to defend your point, apparently most of the movie, like not even just line-wise, but because of the lines, was improvised. So if they said, well, I won't spoil anything for those who haven't seen it, but if they said, I'm going to go eat pizza now, suddenly they have to add a scene where they go to eat pizza. And then Christian Bale and all of them were like, David O. Russell, what's going on? This is going to change the story. And he said, my film's not about the story. It's about the characters in which I create this world for. So that's American Hustle in a nutshell. I guess it's supposed to be a mess, which some people will agree with, some people won't, but there you have it. No, I agree though. I did like it though, but I think it's incredibly overrated. I watched it twice now. The second time I still liked it, but like I watched something like Nebraska twice and I get hit like with 10 times more the amount of energy and emotion with Nebraska the second time.
Yeah. I know. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, Dakota, what do you think? Who should end up being nominated?
Outside of Bradley Cooper, I think he was the only one who really deserved his nomination for the American Hustle guys.
He was the best person in American Hustle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really? But like, I don't know. I'll have to disagree along with Best Actress. I liked Meryl Streep and Sandra Bullock a lot. While the films weren't perfect, especially August Osage County, I still thought Meryl Streep gave a pretty good performance. It was a little showy, but I still liked it.
It's very theater. I mean, it's based on a play, but
right.
He is like very theater. And
you know what? Normally I hate Julia Roberts, but I really liked her. I walked out and I said, you know what? She was great. She deserves the nomination.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
So sorry, continue.
It's just so tough to kind of quibble with them. Like for the most part, they're pretty good. There's only one or two that are like, why is it there? But they're probably not going to win anyway. So it's kind of hard to, get yourself up in a lather over it.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to an art gallery, like with like a kids competition. It's like, why is this drawing there? It's okay, just let him think he'll do well, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, like, I'm surprised nobody's mentioned anything about Jonah Hill, which I don't like disagree with, but like, he was definitely like a surprise.
I thought he was worthy of a nomination.
Oh, for sure. He was just like a surprise like nominee, though. I didn't even expect him, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this. So. Yeah,
I think with Wolf of Wall Street, a lot of the nominations like weren't really seen coming because they didn't get the preliminary ones because the movie hadn't screened yet for like, I think, was it the Screen Actors Guild? They didn't get any nominations, but it was because the voters hadn't even seen the movie yet. Like, it was just like really delayed with the screenings, the Oscar, whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? Any actors that you don't think deserves to be there?
I don't think Amy Adams, like what you've said before, that wasn't her best job ever. people are probably gonna kill me for this one, but I didn't really like Bruce Dern. That
Oh,
much
no way.
in Nebraska. No, but like compared to some, like, I don't know, like,
The thing is with him, I cannot imagine him as like not that character. Like if I saw him as himself, I can't imagine him not being this confused old man. Like,
did you ever watch the show Big Love?
Yes.
He plays a very similar character to that.
I
in Big
know,
Love
but
as well,
like,
the ornery old man.
I have a lot of things against Nebraska. We'll get into that later.
Sean came up to me after watching Nebraska, and he's like, "Really, Best Picture, Best Director?" And I was like, "Oh, Sean, don't you even start. But we'll get
He
into that
texted
later.
me that too as well.
Yeah.
Sean, what are you doing? No, we'll get into that in a second. Now, of course, everybody's out their opinions, and we'll get into why you felt that way actually a bit later on. But I think now is a good time to actually get into the categories and who's actually nominated. So we have 10 categories that we picked because there's just too many. So we decided to go with what felt like the main ones. So what we will do is, in the same order, we will say who we want to win and who will win, which could be the same answer, might not be. Let's start off with Best Actor in a Supporting Role. We have, if I butcher some names, I apologize, even though they're not even listening. Barkat Abdi for Captain Phillips, Bradley Cooper, American Hustle, Michael Fassbender, 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto, Dallas Buyers Club. Adrianna, I'll go after everybody, but Adrianna, you go first.
For who I want to win, I actually really like everybody in this category. I probably would personally choose Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, but I think it's kind of guaranteed that Jared Leto is going to win, right, which is fine because he's really good in the movie. My only thing about that is I feel like any actor would have done the same performance. Like, I can't really see how he could have elevated that material any more than anyone else would, but
I'm actually going to disagree with that. I think, like, even just like the way he blinked was completely different. Like, just everything was just so specifically effeminate, or like a trans man trying to portray that. I just thought it was extremely real. And of course, we've seen drag performances before, but something else with Jared. There was a lot of commitment, I feel, with Jared Leto. I think.
Yeah, no, he definitely committed. I know that he like did not break character for the whole time that he was shooting that movie.
Right.
So that's really crazy, but I'd be happy with him winning. I really like him in general. I think a lot of people are like, Jared Leto, like, where did you come from, kind of thing. But
for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like, sorry?
Sorry, no. I would say Michael Fassbender, though, was so good in 12 Years a Slave, and I feel like he just gets really overlooked.
No, I agree. I mean, he was overlooked for Shame as well, so I'm glad he's at least getting nominated.
So upset that he didn't get nominated for Shame. That was like an all-time great performance.
Oh, that was easily one of the best performances, not of late, but that I've ever seen. If I could pile a list of 100, for sure, just groundbreaking performance. Yeah. So at least he's getting nominated this year. I think he was terrific too. He'd be a close second, but Dakota, what do you think?
You know, Fassbender's a very, very close second for me, but I both want and think Leto's going to win.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty simple.
Sean?
I think Jared Leto is going to win. I liked his performance there. I think he did a really good job at the whole feminine thing. So because he's like a famous rock star already, and he has his time with groupies and all of that, he probably knows how to act like them too. So, but I would like to see the taxi driver from Captain Phillips win.
Yeah, that'd be cool because when will he ever be nominated again?
Never.
Really?
You never know.
Oh, limo driver. Limo. That's.
Yeah.
I had to elevate him there, not taxi.
Barkat Abdi, yeah. No, okay, so I'm going to say, well, first of all, what I was going to say before is that Jared Leto's kind of the Tilda Swinton of this year. Just kind of somebody who does like really low-key or underground roles, and it just out of nowhere comes in this, and then he's got to just disappear back into where he came from, right? Yeah. Controversial opinion. Barkat Abdi, I think it was great, but I don't know if he is as phenomenal as people have been saying. I'm sorry.
I'm the captain now.
I loved him.
I thought he was great too, but I mean, when he won the BAFTA, I was like, over Michael Fassbender, really? Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. But
No, Michael Fassbender was terrific too, and I was rooting for Michael Fassbender until I saw Dallas Buyers Club. I was like, Michael, you're one of my favorites, but sorry, this can't. Let's go into Best Actress in a Supporting Role. We have this one could be between two people, but we'll see. We have Sally Hawkins in Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence in American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o, I think, in 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts, August Osage County, and June Squibb, Nebraska. All right, Adrianna, you're first.
Okay, I think that... Oh my god, I can't decide who I think is going to win. I would say Lupita. Jennifer Lawrence won last year. If she hadn't won last year, I might have said that she might win. I think that's the one thing going against her winning.
Right.
I think my personal choice would be June Squibb.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
In Nebraska. Oh, Sean, are you like upset
No.
now?
No. Actually,
Okay.
wait till we get to me.
Yeah, but Jennifer Lawrence, she's good in American Hustle. I thought Bradley Cooper was the best in that movie, but she was the most fun. Like, I didn't like the movie, but her scenes made the movie the most worth watching. But she, like, her accent slips. I don't know if that's on purpose. Like, there's certain things about her performance that, like, aren't quite spot on.
Yeah.
But June Squibb, I think she's, like, being so overlooked right now. Even Sally Hawkins, I loved in Blue Jasmine. I think I'd be happy with anyone, but I'm going to say June Squibb is my personal choice.
Sounds good. Dakota?
This is a tough one because, like we were saying earlier, it wasn't a super overwhelming year for the supporting actresses. June Squibb would probably be number 2 for me, but I think Julia Roberts was actually my favorite. There was like a particular moment in the film after she had her fight with Ewan McGregor, and she comes in and she turns and looks at the mirror and realizes that she's just as bad as her mother. That was just such a great little moment for me that really encapsulated the performance for me. But who do I think will actually win? It will probably be Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Sean?
I think Jennifer Lawrence is going to win.
No,
but
Sean.
Okay, so I did not like the Nebraska film except for June Squibb. I thought she was hilarious.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So that's why I was surprised when Adrianna said that. I was like, yes, I got something.
Oh, God. I just remember in the theater when they're at the graveyard. And
and then she pulls up her skirt.
She's a whore. I was like, I was bursting out laughing. No,
That was
terrific.
great. Yeah.
What I'm going to say about this is, Jennifer Lawrence, I think you're really talented. You shouldn't have won last year over Jessica Chastain. And if you win this year, I'm sorry. I really do think you're good, but if I'm going to go with my personal favorite is Lupita, because when I saw 12 Years a Slave and that scene, I won't say what it is for people who haven't seen it, but that scene where she really shines just ripped at me for weeks. I just couldn't get that out of my head. It was
Wait,
just real.
which scene?
The really long one.
Like the violent scene?
Yeah. We'll go with the violent scene.
That wasn't acting. That was just like standing there.
What
Wait, are we thinking about the same part?
We better not be.
Okay.
That was acting.
Okay, let's just use a keyword. Soap. Is it that scene?
Yeah.
I was just standing there. Did you not see her face?
Yes, but okay.
See, this is why it's interesting, because we get somebody that's not like studied film, and we get a different.
You're the academic here.
Well, no, but I mean, no, I just like it because I like that we actually don't all agree on everything.
Yeah.
I like that, and I know I'm ripping on you a bit, Sean. I apologize.
Okay. That's a panel.
Exactly. There you go. No, I thought she was just terrific and should win, but it's tricky. It's sorry, what were we gonna say?
No, I think she will.
I hope.
Jennifer Lawrence, as we said, won last year. Like, I cannot imagine them giving her 2 Academy Awards year after year, and she's like 23 years old. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
If you look at the 5, though, Sally Hawkins, June Squibb, and Julia Roberts basically have no chance. It's basically between Lupita Nyong'o and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And it's are they going to give it to her 2 years in a row, or are they going to give it to the newcomer sort of thing?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because like Sally Hawkins was terrific. I thought like she played.
Loved her.
Yeah, she played like that ditzy kind of. I don't need no other guy. I'm fine where I'm at. Like she played that role so perfectly, where it's like you just full of heart and like not really a lot of mind, but just like a lot of heart. It was terrific. Like she wasn't like overly silly either. Whereas like at points Jennifer Lawrence like was a lot of the comedic relief in American Hustle, but at points it was just overly silly. I feel.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like that whole movie is ridiculous.
All right, let's move on to best original screenplay. We have American Hustle. I won't read all of them. Fine, whatever. I'll give them their dues. American Hustle, Eric Warren Singer and David O. Russell. We have Blue Jasmine, written by Woody Allen. Dallas Buyers Club by Craig Borland, I believe. Is that a T or an L? Craig Borden.
Yeah.
There we go. And Melissa Wallach. Her by Spike Jonze. And Nebraska by Bob Nelson. All right. Adrianna, your turn. I think this is a shoo-in for me, but
yeah, Her for both. Her is one of the best movies I've seen, not just this year. Like it's one of my new favorite movies. It's just incredible. The screenplay is that movie. Can't see anyone else winning at this point either. Other than I don't know what they're gonna give American Hustle. It got so many nominations, and if it doesn't win supporting actress, I'd say this is the only other category that it could win.
I think it's gonna go Ofer.
You think it's gonna go what?
Ofer, like 0.
Yeah,
it's gonna win anything.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But this is the only place where I could see them maybe giving it. But Her has been winning screenplay mostly everywhere.
Yeah.
Blue Jasmine's out because Woody Allen just like
Woody Allen really, yeah. Oh.
He's not. That movie is getting hurt by his personal life, but definitely Her. Nebraska would be like my second choice there, but I love Her. That's all. I gotta stop talking about it. But
no. Well, it is a terrific film, and I think everybody here agrees. As long as Kate Blanchett wins, I don't care what Woody did or didn't do.
As long as it doesn't hurt Kate.
Exactly, because I think she does deserve it. It's one of the best performances I've seen in a really long time. It was my number one of last year. Dakota, who do you think is going to win, and who should win?
You know what? I think I personally like Her the best. Blue Jasmine was the runner-up script for me because, I know Woody Allen makes his serious movies every once in a while, but I went in expecting his serious movie to still have some comedic elements, and for the most part, it really didn't. Oh. There was almost no comedic elements. There was the little bit with like Sally Hawkins and her boyfriend Chili and stuff like that, but it was hard hitting the whole way through.
It's like a tragic movie, but I love Blue Jasmine. That I also wanted to win as well.
No, Blue Jasmine was great.
Yeah, but Her would be number one for who I want to win, and I think it's going to win just because also like the Academy likes to give the weirder films that they would never give Best Picture to.
Yeah, exactly.
The screenplay. So you look at like Pulp Fiction getting Best
Eternal
Screenplay.
Sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. Eternal Sunshine with Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah, things like that. And I think Her fits into that category like a T. It's too weird for them to give it Best Picture, but the script is fantastic, and I think that's their consolation prize.
Yeah.
Sean, I know you really like Her because we did a podcast on it.
A 46-minute review on Her.
Just on how philosophical.
I don't even think I've.
Steve, you could talk about that movie forever.
Oh my god, yeah, I love that film too. Wait, so when they say screenplay, that's script only, right?
Yeah.
Script. Okay, yeah. So Her for sure for this.
I'm gonna go with Her. I mean, I think it's pretty much a shoo-in with Her because, and I hope it does because you know what, Spike Jonze deserves something. I mean, being John Malkovich, adaptation. I know those were a lot of what Charlie Kaufman added to it, but when he took on Her by himself, just completely blew me away, and that I gained a whole new respect for him. I didn't think that like he didn't do anything for the previous films, but
it feels like he's been inspired by Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah,
like Her's movie, I could have seen Charlie Kaufman writing
for sure.
I think their work together has really like maybe inspired him or like I don't know, given him something to really work on.
Just like Synecdoche, New York, with Charlie Kaufman actually directing it and thanking Spike Jonze for like just being a mentor.
Because he was supposed to direct it originally, Spike Jonze, and then I guess
they're clearly two peas in a pod.
Yeah,
exactly.
they totally are.
No, I'm gonna go with Spike Jonze, and I mean, Her's definitely one of the best screenplays I've seen in a while. And it's rare for me to consider something perfect, but I think the screenplay for Her is perfect. It speaks.
It's beautiful.
So many things.
It's beautiful.
It's so relevant. Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's relevant. It's prophetic. It's it's just everything.
Everything.
It's really net tight. So I think because we agree on that, let's move on to best adapted screenplay. So here we have Before Midnight Soul nomination, sadly. With
Clarify that for me. What's adapted screenplay versus original screenplay?
So originals like written from scratch, adapted from a play, from a show, or from a book,
or a sequel.
Or a sequel.
In the case of Before Midnight.
Exactly. There you go.
Which is kind of ridiculous. That's still an original screenplay.
So there was a film called Midnight?
No, it was
Midnight.
Before Sunrise, Before
Sunset. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's the third movie in that series.
Sean, I'm going to say it because I think everybody should hear as well. With the Before trilogy, I don't know what you would actually call it, Before Sunset trilogy, I don't know. With this last film, I guess if I were to ever make a list of best trilogies, like a top 10, this would definitely make it now because it's just completely consistent. It's a terrific trilogy, great acting, great dialogue. It's fantastic.
It should be adult. Like Before Midnight, then After Midnight.
Well, no,
you have to see all three to really get it.
You have to see the three.
God,
Sean.
okay, all right.
It's really worth it. It's really worth it.
You know what, Sean? I binge watched all three of them this past weekend just because I was like, you know what? I really want to see Before Midnight, but I don't want to be lost. So I watched all three, and my weekend was amazing because of it.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's one of those life-changing kind of films where you leave watching it.
Yeah,
you leave watching it feeling like, I want to be these people, like, depending on your gender. It's like, I really want to be as badass or as, like, energetic and lively as these people. It's one of those.
Okay. But it's so real because the problems that they are encountering, you know, you can imagine you having those problems or your parents or whoever.
Exactly. Okay. No, you've got to watch it.
I'm adding it to my list. So Before Midnight, what was the one before?
You
need to watch Before Sunrise and then Before Sunset and then Before Midnight.
Those are your favorite films, aren't they?
Yeah, that's my all-time favorite films, that trilogy. We can talk. Let's go through the nominees and then
I think we agree on who should win now. So the nominees are Before Midnight, Richard Linklater. Is that how you pronounce it, Adrianna?
Linklater, but I'm confused. I'm looking at it on IMDb. Did Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke not get the nomination for this? Because they all wrote it. They did. Okay. Yep. IMDb only lists Richard Linklater, and I'm like,
Nope, Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke are there too. Captain Phillips, Billy Ray, Philomena, Steve Coogan, and Jeff Pope. Steve Coogan, really? I didn't know that. 12 Years a Slave, John Ridley. And The Wolf of Wall Street, Terrence Winter. So, Adrianna, I think we know.
Yeah. Well, the category is really strong. Like, this is a really great category. Obviously, my choice would be Before Midnight. That screenplay just... Oh, my God. Okay. We've already talked about these movies a bit, but it's so real. You get the couple of Jesse and Celine who are... Okay, actually, I don't want to spoil it for Sean.
Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. Sorry.
There's some, like the dialogue in this movie, like these movies are completely dialogue driven. Like that's the whole movie is just people talking. And in this film, it's the first time Jesse and Celine have other people with them. Like the first two is just the two of them. So in this film, seeing them interact with other people and that dinner scene that they have where they're like eating dinner at that Greek house is just like the conversation they have is incredible. I can't get over it. But that's obviously my choice. I also think that all the other nominees here are really great. Wolf of Wall Street would be my second choice if I were to give anyone else. But even Philomena, I was really impressed with that movie. I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
Oh, it was a good film. Dakota, what do you think?
I think my personal favorite was 12 Years a Slave. I just think it was just written so strongly that there wasn't really a weak point in the script. Well, obviously it was really buoyed by the acting, but I thought it was a very solid start to finish story. With my runner-up probably being Philomena. The intimate scenes between the two of them in the car were really good to watch, and like the resolution to it all was so heartbreaking and everything like that. Steve Coogan, who, you know, if you're familiar with his work, it's such a shock to see him write this.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even know he wrote it. I'm dumbfounded, and I just found this out.
The guy that was in Hamlet 2.
Yeah, precisely. So you think 12 Years will win, or?
Yeah, it was my favorite, and I also think it will win.
Fair enough. Sean, what about you?
So I was expecting Philomena to be like a boring film, so I saved that and Nebraska for the end. But I really enjoyed Philomena. Like
loved it.
That was a very good film. I love that one. So I think that one will win. I don't think 12 Years will win because the book was like pretty chronological, and I hated how the film had those flashbacks. I did not think that was necessary for the film.
I thought it was necessary, but we'll get into that when I splurge about my love for 12 Years a Slave with best film. But
oh my god, okay.
yeah, so I mean, I remember when you watched Nebraska, you were like, I don't know if I like this, and then you watched Philomena afterwards.
I had to ask you, I had to make sure, is this supposed to be in black and white?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I just did a bad copy of the movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then afterwards, he's like, Philomena, now that's a movie. I was like, yep, that's a movie, all right. So it's a good one. Okay, so I want 12 Years a Slave to win. Who do I think will win? It's tough. I actually can't really pick off the top of my head. Possibly 12 Years, Wolf of Wall Street, or even Before Midnight.
I don't know who's going to win either.
No, this is tough. This is really, really tough.
Or maybe Wall Street, actually, that might win.
It could be because a lot of people disagreed with that film. A lot of people you either loved it or hated it. One of the things I kind of kept it was just how alive and unreal the script was, like how many times it broke the fourth wall, just the fact that it swore over
More
like
than
500 times,
more than any other movie ever.
pretty much any non documentary, right? So well, I don't know if that's going to make it win, but you never know. Maybe if it does, that'll be like the new precedent. You've got to say the F word this many times. No, but if I had to pick one, just because I'm forcing everybody else to pick one that will win, I'll stick to my guns. I'll say 12 Years. I'll stick to my guns because I have a feeling it might win Best Picture. So I think that's it. It can't just win one award, Best Picture. So I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to say it's going to win Best Adapted too. So let's cut to Best Actress. Which do I even have to?
Kate Blanchett across the board?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Basically.
But just to give them, Sean, you agree?
I liked Judi Dench. She was really good. No, I thought her performance in Philomena was really, 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 really good.
Yeah, I agree, for sure.
Did you see Blue Jasmine?
Yep.
Sean?
Yep. But
Okay.
I like Judi Dench.
There you go. Well, just to give them their dues and just not skimp out on them, because I personally think everybody did a good job. But Amy Adams, American Hustle, Kate Blanchett, Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock, Gravity, Judi Dench, Philomena, Meryl Streep, August Osage County. Good, because I don't ever want to have to mention August Osage County for the rest of this podcast. No offense to everybody else involved. But yeah, so I think most of us, the majority agrees Kate Blanchett.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Blanchett.
Not me.
Do you think she will win, though?
Yeah, probably. Because you guys are really accurate.
Well, she's won everything else so far, like across the board, no competition.
No, she's good. I like her too.
I think she's terrific. And this, I actually do legitimately think, like, perhaps not Amy Adams or Sandra Bullock, but when people say this might be her best performance with Galadriel and her work as Katharine Hepburn and even Bob Dylan, to say that this is her best and actually agree with it, that's something else.
Yeah.
Best actor time. This one we might have maybe not disagreements, but maybe this one I like a lot because there is no clear winner.
Yeah.
We've got Christian Bale, American Hustle, Bruce Dern, Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street, Chiwetel Ejiofor, 12 Years a Slave. I hope that's how you say his name. That's how
Ejiofor.
It is.
Ejiofor. There we go. And Matthew McConaughey, Dallas Buyers Club. Now, is it Leo's year? Let's find out. Adriana.
That's who I want to win. I think Leonardo DiCaprio should win for The Wolf of Wall Street. Who do I think will win? I think it's between him and Matthew McConaughey. One of them, for sure. I don't see anyone else. Like, I thought Chiwetel Ejiofor was one of the front runners, but I think now, I don't know if the hype's died down or something, but I feel like everyone's either Leo or Matthew. Leonardo DiCaprio is, like, one of my favorite actors, and this is probably his best performance. And it's so comedic. Like, I think you think of Wolf of Wall Street would be like this like drama, but it's completely a hilarious performance. His comedic work in this film is so great. I'm like, you have to do a comedy now after doing this movie. This like, there's so many standout scenes that like the Quaalude scene obviously
Oh,
is
the best
probably
scene of
his
last year.
yeah, right. So just for that scene alone, I think he should win. But I'd be happy with basically anyone else winning other than Christian Bale. And I don't know who I think's gonna win. I still have to say Leo or Matthew, who also was incredible in Dallas Buyers Club. So
When I did the very first Capsule podcast as a one man show, I chose the Quaalude scene as the funniest scene of last year, and it just is. I can't even talk about it without wanting to laugh.
yeah, it's just insane. Like I don't even know how he did it.
You know what you did, you piece of shit. Oh no, it was just if you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, if you're even adamant on watching it, just watch the whole thing just for the build up to that scene alone. It's unlike any comedic scene I've ever seen. It's really innovative. It's downright hilarious as well. Dakota, who do you think is going to win and who should win? Or who do you want to win?
I do not think that this is Leo's year. He's been nominated a bunch of times before, but I don't think he's ever been robbed of it. And I think this year would be no exception. Personally, I think my favorite, it was so close between Ejiofor and McConaughey, but I think Ejiofor was my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think Matthew McConaughey is going to win, and I'm totally fine with that as well.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to disagree with the Leo thing. I agree for the most part, but for The Aviator, I'm not going to lie. Jamie Foxx's Ray Charles was good, but if Leo was ever robbed, by all means, it was for The Aviator. I thought he was absolutely spectacular for that. Ejiofor, I think, is also like really. That's we'll go to Sean first. Sorry for skipping on any Sean.
I think McConaughey's gonna win for sure. I thought that was a really awesome performance, but I would like to see DiCaprio win.
Actually, so
I think this will be his. I think this will be his year
for sure. We're actually more on the same page than I thought we would be.
Sweet.
So clearly there's three people here, and Christian Bale, I think, did really good work. If I had to switch anybody out, it would be him, but not to say that he didn't do a good job, which I think some of you guys would disagree with, I think. But if I had to switch anybody out, like Robert Redford to switch in, or even Tom Hanks, it would be Christian Bale, but I thought he was great. Bruce Dern, I thought, was fantastic as well, and I think he deserves to be there. But if it's between any three people, it's
he was
Leo.
Just an old guy, though.
No, Sean, no.
He was more than just an old guy.
Sean,
I could act like that.
No, you couldn't.
Then give you your Oscar.
No. Maybe you have Alzheimer's too. No, I'm kidding. That's offensive. No, if it's between any three people, it's Leo, it's Chiwetel, and it's Matthew. Now, who do I want to win? I'm going to go with Chiwetel. Honestly, I think the way that you could see his age progress throughout the entire film was astounding. Even just like the way it's really, because you don't film a film chronologically, and when you see an actor do so much work that they can actually kind of lay out the blueprint for themselves, like the way he says, "I don't want to survive, I just want to live," earlier on in the film, and even like what was it, like half an hour later when he does like his monologue in the middle of the film where he's like, "I will survive, I will not fall into despair." Just the way he delivered it, those lines, they played off one another so beautifully. It was just fantastic. I think a very poetic performance, very real as well, just brilliant. Who do I think will win? I'm going to go with McConaughey.
Yep, I think so.
So we all agree on McConaughey, possibly, or Leo as well?
So.
Yeah.
I'm like in between him and Leo.
Yeah.
Problem is, they weren't even nominated for BAFTAs, Jared or Matthew. Was that a qualification thing, or nope?
The BAFTA, I don't know. Isn't it only? I don't know. Never mind. I take it back.
No,
it's like British film. Like, isn't there a bias towards?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was maybe like too indie or something. I don't know.
It might have been.
Too Canadian.
No, there's definitely a bit of a bias. Well, there's always politics in every awards ever. You can't escape it. The BAFTAs either get it really right or they kind of get the biases in their way. I mean, like the cake speech, when all three of them won for acting, I was like, I don't really agree with that. But even though they were really good, of course. But anyway, speaking of foreignness, best foreign film.
Oh,
Now,
I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen
I've
any
only seen one of them. I'm seeing another one. I'm seeing The Great Beauty tonight, and I've only seen The Hunt. And I've got
for a huge
I
surprise.
don't know, this year they I don't know. I saw a lot of foreign films this year, and none of the foreign films I saw got nominated. But I really want to see Broken Circle Breakdown and The Great Beauty, which has like the most polarizing opinions ever. That
Really?
I've seen yeah, like everyone loves it or hates it.
I've not seen anybody hate it, actually.
Oh, really? I know a lot of people who hated it. Like,
I'm only hearing good things.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I'm
I think it's gonna win though, but I don't know. The Hunt's on Netflix. I have to watch that.
Oh, you've
really
got to watch
good.
Mads Mikkelsen's terrific in it.
Yeah, I don't even know what the missing picture is.
It's kind of about like the genocide going on in Cambodia, and they mix claymation with like archival footage and interviews and stuff like that from the genocide that happened. I think it was like the early 90s.
I think the missing picture is actually about is Llewyn Davis not getting nominated. So
The missing best picture.
exactly. Sean, have you actually seen any of these?
No, I have seen none of these, but I like Italy, and I'm assuming The Great Beauty is about a beautiful woman.
It's actually like about an old man.
Oh,
It's a very deep film about life. That's really broad. It's really hard to describe this film. All right, so again, to give everybody their dues, we have The Broken Circle Breakdown from Belgium. We have The Great Beauty from Italy, The Hunt from Denmark, The Missing Picture from Cambodia, and Omar, which is Palestinian. Now, pretty much The Great Beauty's been sweeping this category, like 100%. There's not even been a question of debate for this film. A lot of critics have actually considered this like one of the best recent films made, period.
which one?
The Great Beauty.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, great. I picked one. Yes.
I just want to mention one that was snubbed because I forgot to mention it earlier.
Go for it.
Past.
Yes.
I think.
I want to see that.
Nominated for this category. I know a lot of people who also didn't like The Past, and I only think that's because A Separation was so incredible, which is Asghar Farhadi. That The Past, like when you make a second film after a movie like A Separation, you're obviously going to have the highest expectations on that second. I mean, it's like his fourth film, but I mean after that movie. But The Past was really, really great. I wish it got nominated.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, A Separation is what people are considering The Great Beauty now. A Separation, when it came out, was considered like an instant classic. Like Time that year considered it when they wrote like an extra 20 entries for their best 100 films of all time. They included A Separation. That was the most recent film on their list. And I agree 100%. A Separation is a really breathtaking film. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to. If I were to make an essential list of foreign films to watch, that would definitely be on there. It's
last year was a really good year because Amour was also in the category, and that was a phenomenal film.
Yeah,
Amour was devastating but amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that even got
Best Actress.
A Best Director and Best Actress, the oldest person to ever be nominated.
I think she should have won, if anyone, last year.
So totally, I agree with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think she was my second runner-up, or not second, my runner-up after Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30. See, this whole thing about Jennifer Lawrence. Sorry, if she ever listens to this, Jennifer Lawrence, I think you're terrific. I'm sorry, but I think we all agree on Great Beauty possibly winning.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Go Italy.
Go Italy. So, for those who haven't seen the nominees, if I were to recommend any, it's definitely The Great Beauty and The Hunt are the two best of this category.
Denmark is pretty cool too.
Oh, you've got to watch The Hunt. The Hunt's a really powerful film.
It's kind of like Atonement, thematically.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Atonement, but like a real hard-hitting version of it, like with disgusting implications in it. It's magnificent film. It's really hard-hitting though. So now this one, Best Animated Film. I don't even think there's a topic of debate or anything here.
You'll be surprised.
All right, we'll see. Best Animated Film, we have The Croods, which the names involved are Chris Sanders, Kirk Dermicko, I don't know how you pronounce that, and Christine Belson. We have Despicable Me 2, Chris Renaud, Pierre Coffin, and Chris Meledandri. That's whatever. Ernest and Celestine, which is Benjamin Renner and Didier Brunner. Frozen, which is Chris Buck, Jennifer Lee, and Peter DeVecco, I believe, and The Wind Rises, which is Hayao Miyazaki and Toshio Suzuki. So, Adriana?
I think Frozen's gonna win, and its only competition is The Wind Rises, which I haven't seen yet. I've only seen Frozen, but I'm pretty sure we can write off The Croods. The sequel movie too. I've heard Ernest and Celestine's really good. I'm sure it is. They always have that like random, really like indie animated film. But The Wind Rises also is getting incredible reviews, and it's apparently his last film.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'm pretty sure Frozen's gonna win this.
Dakota, what do you think? Do you think Frozen's frozen in place?
You know what? I think it's going to win. I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen The Wind Rises yet. I'm going to see that next week because it just came out.
Yes.
But Ernest and Celestine, I loved. I love the art in it. Like the animation had like this really whimsical watercolor palette, and it just looked so great. And it was a sweet film, but it also had like mature themes as far as, you know, not treating children like children. It was really enjoyable and just cute and fun to watch. Croods and Despicable Me is time I'm not getting back in my life, unfortunately.
The names themselves are pretty much like my reaction to it, where it's like the Croods was just like this ugly thing, and just like Despicable Me was like I was self-loathing afterwards. Anyways, Sean, what do you think?
I think Frozen's gonna win. I like that one. I would like to see Wreck-It Ralph, but that's not on it.
That was
last year.
Oh, that was even last year? Oh, okay.
It was nominated.
Oh.
I have a question though. Wasn't animated only 3 films before?
Yep.
Because
it was between 3 and 5.
Okay. Because I'm really upset that I guess it was 2 years ago, Tangled didn't get nominated in a.
Really?
Yeah, it was only 3 films that got nominated, and now this year they've like expanded to have The Croods and like. Oh, I don't know. I watched Tangled again last night, and it's like one of my favorite animated films. I think it's ridiculous that movie got snubbed that year, but anyway.
But it even was nominated for music and stuff. It got
the small nominations, but it didn't get the animated feature nomination.
That's really bizarre.
The Lego movie's gonna win next year.
Who knows, right? You
We'll
might.
see.
I'm gonna go with Frozen as well. That's pretty much speed sweeping everything. One thing I just want to comment on, which is really, really sad. I don't think they should have been nominated, but one thing I just want to comment that's really sad: the fact that Pixar's not even nominated. That just it goes to show.
What film do they have? Planes?
No, that was Disney actually. They had Monsters University, which I don't think was amazing, right? But it just sucks because they went from Finding Nemo, Ratatouille, which is possibly my favorite animated movie I've ever seen, The Incredibles, and now they're making like Cars 2.
Yeah.
And Up as well, yeah, exactly. WALL-E. That's what I mean. You there's just so many you can name. The Toy Story trilogy, which again I would put on my best trilogies list, along with the 4 series. But look at it now. It's Monsters University, which I saw. It was fun, but it was completely unnecessary.
They're stuck in, like sequelville. That's like all they can manage.
They want to make. Sorry, Dakota.
I was just going to say, like, as far as, like, the Cars series go and Despicable Me 2 goes, while I didn't care for the first Cars, my biggest problem with animated films is when they're successful, they go, hey, the kids love this really, like, cute, annoying aspect of it. Let's jam it full. So, like, Despicable Me, the kids love the Minions. The whole movie was the Minions. Cars.
That stupid Minions! If they were wiped out of my memory, I would just be a happier person.
Like they're fine in the first film. They're like, oh, cool, a little cutesy comedic relief sort of thing. But they just rammed it down our throats in the second one. As far as Cars go, the same thing with Mater, the tow truck.
Yeah, what was up with that? Larry the Cable Guy, right?
Yeah, kids like him. So you know what? Let's just throw in the whole plot about Mater and all this sort of stuff. And that's my biggest issue with animated films is they stop making good stories for the sequels. They just give the kids what they want.
It's unfortunate because you look at the Toy Story trilogy, and that's okay. What I always say about trilogies, I'll keep it short, is that or even sequels, if they're not meant to be there, then usually they're a failure. And that's why so many sequels are terrible. Like Lord of the Rings was meant to be a trilogy, so it works. You have The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2, which both work because they were meant to be there. Part 3 was only made because Coppola needed money after Apocalypse Now that he never regained the money from. So that's why it's the weakest, because it wasn't even meant to be there. So it's just like an added on kind of like leech almost. The two biggest surprises are the Before series, which, well done, that worked somehow, and Toy Story, which fantastic. And that's the thing. Pixar has the capability of making good sequels. First of all, they're picking the wrong films to make sequels of. I mean, did Monsters Inc. need a sequel? Cars didn't even need to be made, so I mean, it doesn't need a sequel. Everybody wants an Incredible sequel. Like, what will happen if in the future, you know, like heroes start becoming a thing? Like, people have come up with their own stories for The Incredibles, and even stuff like, well, Finding Nemo, but like Finding Dory. I don't know how everybody's feeling about that, but
after the recent run, Pixar's recent run, I'm just not excited about their films anymore.
Yeah, they're actually making in the woodworks they've been making for a while a film about the inside the human brain and about dinosaurs, I believe. So hopefully those actually exist, and hopefully they're actually really good, because I know Pixar's capable. Even Brave, I was disappointed with. I think Frankenweenie should have won last year, to be brutally honest. But
oh really? My favorite was Paranorman.
See, that's what I mean. Paranorman was actually good too.
I love that film, yeah.
So was Wreck-It Ralph, which everybody else wanted to win, but I wanted Frankenweenie. Like, I'm going to admit it to everybody in the world, Frankenweenie made me cry. It was literally made me cry. I'm not even kidding. It was just a really powerful film. And like, that was like a comeback for Tim Burton after, what was that? Dark Shadows. Oh, it was just terrible.
Oh my God, that was awful.
And when you're looking at animated films, is it just the story you're looking at? Is it also the animation you're looking at? Like, how much stock do you put into each thing? And for Frankenweenie, the art was great, the story was great.
Yeah. No, it was the only thing I didn't like about Frankenweenie was that part with the prophetic poo. That was just stupid. That was just stupid. But everything else was brilliant. I mean, the fact that it turned into like a B-film monster tribute was amazing. That blew my mind. And then Brave one, which had like a great start, but like a really silly end. I don't know. I like the fact that they made like a really real heroine character, but still, it was underwhelming. Pixar, you can do better. But speaking of people who did pretty well, let's move on to Best Director. We have 2 categories left. The big 2. Best Director, which I think we can agree some names could be switched, but we'll talk about it. We have David O. Russell for American Hustle, Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave, and Martin Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street. Adrianna?
All right, my choice to win. Oh God. I think I would give it to Steve McQueen. And after that, I still really would want Martin Scorsese or even Alexander Payne to win. But I think that it's going to be Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
So, yeah, technical winner yet again, probably like last year Ang Lee won for Life of Pi, which I don't think was a great movie, but obviously it's a technical achievement. No, I was kind of underwhelmed by it. And same with Gravity, I did not like it at all, and it's probably going to win just because of the technical aspect, but directing is so much more than the effects and the technical thing. Like, Gravity's a very technical movie, whereas 12 Years a Slave, for example, I mean, Steve McQueen, I just really love him as a director, and it's such a picturesque movie, and it's so, like, I don't know. I can't even. That one scene in 12 Years a Slave.
The soap.
No, not the soap one. The one where he's, like, left hanging. And it goes on for so long. That's the one scene that really, like, hit me in that movie, and that's just all because Steve McQueen, he's, like, he was a visual artist before, and you can just tell, like, the way he, like, paints a picture in his movies. But then
and,
again...
Like, the kids playing in the background.
Yeah, like, that was crazy. But Alexander Payne, I just want to give him a shout-out, because I never liked him before Nebraska. Like, I've not been a fan of his movies before.
Really?
Other than Election. I liked Election a lot, but... I feel like his movies, they have this weird tonality where they're dark. Like, I love dark comedies, but I don't know, there's just this weird tone to his films in general. But in Nebraska, he like integrates non-actors and with professional actors, and he creates the most real feeling, especially in this film. And I actually went to he was at the TIFF Lightbox and he like did a thing with Nebraska and I saw him and he really like explained himself so well and he totally won me over because I never liked him before. But yeah, I think he's also really, really worthy of a Best Director prize, but I hope it goes to Steve McQueen.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna say about Alexander Payne quickly. Actually, I kind of get where you're coming from because people raved about Schmidt, which I think is really good. Sideways, which I think is also good, but like I don't know if I'll ever see the way people see it. The Descendants I really liked, but at some points, like depending on the day I would watch it, it was just a little bit too much sometimes, just way too in its sorrow. Nebraska was nice because it really did hit me emotionally, but it did have that kind of humor that a lot of people find in Alexander Payne films. And I mean, when I watched it once just to finish my list off last year to see all the essential films, and when I heard that he got nominated, I was like, I don't know if I agree with that, him or David O. Russell. But then when I watched it again, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I absolutely think so. Like the way that it builds up to that final like that ending, just the way that it works out, it's beautiful. I think it's great. Dakota, who do you think is going to win and who should win?
Okay, for me, it's between Gravity and 12 Years a Slave, for two very different reasons. For 12 Years a Slave, I think McQueen, it was a very emotional film, and he brought a lot of emotion to it. And while obviously it was technically sound and everything like that, he coaxed some great performances out. But really, I think my favorite was Gravity. I was reading about how Kurian spent almost a year trying to figure out how the camera should move, and that on the first day of shooting, if it wasn't working, he was going to scrap the whole thing. And I thought the way it was shot and the way he created literally that new world was just perfect. And I loved Gravity. I know you obviously didn't, Adri, but I really enjoyed it. I left the theater. My heart was pumping out of my chest. My hands hurt from grabbing the armrests. And I just think Kurian just created such a beautiful world.
Yeah, that's the film that I heard was really polarizing was Gravity, because people either like loved it to a point of wanting to worship it, or they felt sick and just annoyed and underwhelmed with it. So that's like the great beauty. I didn't hear like polarizing things, but Gravity was the one that I heard polarizing things. Like people either considered it like the best or the worst at TIFF, which is
right.
I'm still hearing that still of people being like, I didn't like it. It was too claustrophobic, blah, blah, blah. Or they loved it.
Or the fact that they thought it was like even pretentious, which I don't know. I wouldn't even see
I wouldn't
where
say pretentious. I would say, no offense to all of you who like Gravity, I don't think it's a very well written film. Like,
no,
the character development is pretty bad. It's just like, let's just throw in these things just to like have emotional cues, like the fact that about her daughter or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it's all for the spectacle of it, but the actual story, I was expecting something so much more like philosophical going into this movie, not realizing it was a pure survival story. So I guess I was let down in that regard, that I thought I was watching a different movie than what the movie actually was. So that's just a personal bias kind of thing, but I just was not impressed with the actual storytelling of the movie. I just thought it was like, okay, this is just for the 3D glasses. Like, I can't imagine watching that movie at home and feeling the same effect than when you watched it in the theater.
Right. No, I can actually see where you're coming from, because I really enjoyed Gravity. It was one of my favorite films of last year. I too thought it would be more philosophical, but you know what? I'm fine with the fact that it isn't. Just one or two, like maybe like 3 or 4 of like the dialogue pieces were just a bit awkward. Like when George Clooney's like, "Oh, let's upload this on Facebook," I was like, "Right, of course." Just like this forced laugh about it. It was like, okay, Sean, who do you think is going to win and who should win?
So I think I liked Gravity because I think it was still a little philosophical with the whole floating fetus thing. That was pretty cool. That's philosophical. But I think
a little bit. But...
I think Steve McQueen will win for 12 years.
Really?
Yes.
I hope so.
I think Alfonso Cuarón is going to win because on a technical level, this is absolutely brilliant. It's not like Avatar, which James Cameron lost to Catherine Bigelow, rightfully so. Sorry if I lose fans for Avatar, because he did pull off really cool technical feats for that. But the film itself, like that film, I felt was incredibly underwhelming, like story-wise, and a lot of people agree.
Yeah.
But
It was Pocahontas meets that Kevin Costner film, Dances with Wolves.
yeah, pretty much on acid.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Here, I think this is the good time since it's a directing decision. Why was Nebraska in black and white? I don't like that.
I saw. Well, sorry, I saw him.
Oh yeah, you saw him talk. Yeah.
He said that he always wanted to do a movie in black and white, and that this just felt like it wasn't really like a special decision. Like this movie had to be in black and white, but he felt like there was a nostalgic quality to this film, and that if he was ever going to make a movie in black and white, like this just felt like the right one to make.
No, see, I don't like that. He just made it black and white for the sake of making it black and white.
He had like this it was kind of more like a throwback to old Hollywood, obviously, but he just felt like this movie had that quality where it was kind of more timeless, and that it could like in another time, I guess.
I like that though, because it is about age. It is about coming back to a town and having people remember you and your legacies and all of that. And it was not even just the fact that it's about like old photographs and all that. I just felt like people's opinions were black and white as well. Yeah. It was either, he's won, let's go get his money, or he hasn't won, he's an old crazy fool, and the only person who had kind of any gray area were the two sons. That was it. And that's what I liked about it, because it just added a lot of soul to the film. I mean, Nebraska's not a place where you want like sweeping colored shots. Black and white, it added to it. Like it added this kind of heritage, kind of nostalgia kind of quality to it. I think it definitely benefited, even if the decision wasn't as thought out as we'd like to think, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh yeah, I did too. But yeah, so James Cameron with Avatar, I don't think he should have won. But if James Cameron himself saw Gravity and said, "This is the reason why I made this technology," then you know that like it's getting put to really good use. And just the stuff that they pulled off with, like, it was almost like choreographed, the way that they had that Karan constructed everything with the lighting hitting their space helmets at a specific time, and the way that they would move in space freely. It was just absolutely insane. Who do I want to win? Is Steve McQueen, of course, because I think 12 Years a Slave is a flawless film, which, again, I would rarely call a film that. And I've been a huge fan of his for a while now with Shame and with Hunger, of course. If you haven't seen Hunger or Shame, anybody listening, you must. They're heavy, but you must.
So why did you like his flashback scenes in 12 Years a Slave?
There we go.
I didn't see that as being necessary. Like, for a film like that, it would have been better to see like the whole thing in chronological order.
Well, at the very beginning, you mean, right? When he's
through
there
the entire thing. He should have started him off
those as well,
as
right?
like well off with the family, and then he gets dragged away, and then he gets turned into a slave, and then he gets back home.
I liked it because it wasn't like Hollywoody. It wasn't like, here's a man who starts off on the top of his game and suddenly this happens. Like, it starts off really ugly at first, and because you see like this really awkward sexual encounter, and you see him struggling to write this letter and being frustrated, and you're instantly questioning, how did he get here? Was he always here? What happened, right? Who is this guy? Why is this happening? Is that his wife? And you don't even really understand what's happening, and then you get kind of thrown into it. And as the film goes on, you piece everything together. And the flashbacks for when he was a free man before he was tricked into being a slave, that kind of adds like a sense of hope and kind of what he would be trying to sought after. And I like the fact that you didn't see too many flashbacks as the film went on, as if he was forgetting what his children looked like. And that's why he had their names carved into his violin or viola, I don't know, into his instrument. And it worked so well on a poetic level, where it's like you're witnessing him kind of forgetting his family because he's been without them for so long. And you see like his sense of hope starting to disappear because he forgets his children and he forgets his wife.
I also found the pace a little bit off. Like, it didn't feel
too.
like
12 years.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 12 years. Oh,
felt like 2 years or something.
That's
the
like,
ending is very abrupt. It's like you see him struggle for so long, and then all of a sudden, won't spoil it, something happens, and it ends, and I'm like, okay. That was a little, like, it seemed almost easy towards the end. I'm like, that just happened so fast, how it ended when it was supposed to be this 12-year struggle. I don't know.
As far as the flashbacks go, I liked it because, you know, you're watching all this horrible, horrible things happening to this man, and then there'd be a flashback of him with his family, and you remember that he once was a happy man, and those contrasts of him smiling and laughing and enjoying life to, you know, being treated less than dirt was a very empowering, powerful thing to watch.
For sure. As for the pacing, I can actually understand where you guys are coming from. The more I've watched it, I've seen it like 4 times now. That's a lot. The more I watch it, the more I kind of like it, because it seems like for all of these years of torment that these just ended up being a blur, because it was just year after year after year of torment after torment that even to him, when he recounts it in his memoir, possibly if it's adapted as accurately as Steve McQueen did, that to him, it's not like it was easy and it was just like a blur. It just, years of his life were just wasted like that, like at the snap of his fingers.
Yeah.
Just absolutely wasted. And I mean, no, when the first time I saw it, I was like, that was 12 years? Wow. Okay. But if you pay attention to like the subtle details, so the way he talks, the way he walks, his facial makeup and everybody else, it's pretty subtle, but it's astonishing. As for the ending, it is really abrupt, but I like it because without giving anything away, with account to previous events where it's as if how could he trust anybody after this? I like it because it's like that saving grace where it's like, you know what? I'm so done with life. Just whatever. I don't even care anymore. And it works out. So you know what? I like it a lot. It is abrupt though. So if anybody didn't like that, then I could actually see why. So now that I'm splurging about 12 Years a Slave, as I said I would, let's get into the final category to wrap things up. We have 9 pictures here, which at the beginning of the podcast I said were all pretty much spot on, fantastic films. We have American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street. So last time around, who should win and who will win?
I think Her should win, but it won't. And who I think will win, I'm pretty sure it's still that 2-way race between 12 Years a Slave and Gravity, and possibly American Hustle as the third one that's kind of really competing for this, which I really don't like Gravity or American Hustle, so I'm going to be really upset if either of those win. I'll be fine if 12 Years a Slave wins. I'm not as excited about that movie as you guys are. I liked it, but it didn't impact me in the same way. The Wolf of Wall Street is the only one that, like, I don't think it has really a chance, but it's the closest to a chance that I would want to win. But yeah. I'm guessing I'm putting my money on 12 Years a Slave to actually win.
Okay, sounds good. Dakota, who are you betting on?
You know what? I know it rarely happens that the Best Picture and Best Director don't match up. You know, last year I know it did happen, but it's been such a rare instance. I think it's maybe the 5 or 6 times in the history of the Academy. I think this year it'll happen again with 12 Years winning Best Picture and Gravity winning Best Director. And I think that 12 Years deserves it and will probably win it.
Sounds good. Sean?
I would like to see, I think Dallas Buyers Club deserves to win, but I think 12 Years will win, but I would also like to see Her win, but that probably won't happen.
Yeah, I remember when you saw Dallas Buyers Club, you actually went out to me.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, it wasn't like Philomena where like you just really liked it. You were like, Dallas Buyers Club I've never seen a film like this. Like you were really, really affected by it.
Because there was no like visual effects. It was like a straight up story driven thing. Acting was great. And there was a lot of sub kind of what do you call them, like sub messages in there, like healthy subtext, like healthy eating and that organic stuff. But also, so the only flaw I found in Dallas Buyers Club was how McConaughey was like he was like a rodeo person, right? Or something like that. And then all of a sudden after he gets AIDS, he becomes like a PhD master? Like hardcore research skills? Like, how did that happen?
I kind of like.
The
Sorry.
determination of a dying man.
Exactly. I kind of like it because for anybody who hasn't seen it, he's actually not really much of a hero at first. He's actually a homophobic bigot. I liked it though because it contrasted with just how narrow-minded he is. It's like, wait a second, this guy's actually really smart. He's just been in this wrong area. And now that he's been affected, everybody's being a bigot towards him. And suddenly, like, he's kind of changing from like this despicable person to being like actually a hero. 100% a hero. Like
he's a very good character. Like he's very flawed for like the protagonist of the film.
Oh, it's great. I like it a lot. Like they didn't just like Hollywoodize him. I really enjoyed that actually.
It was gritty.
Yeah, gritty. That's a good word for it.
I liked how sick it was. Like it like when I watched Philadelphia, right, with Tom Hanks and whatever. Like when they showed AIDS patients and all that, of course it was really saddening and all that, but it just felt like a film. This, I felt like I was watching people legitimately dying on screen. It was so upsetting.
Yeah.
It was, oh man, just like how gaunt some people were, and just how the way that they walked, and the fact that they didn't even like cue in all of this dramatic music. It just happened. Like some people that just like leave the film. It's really upsetting. It's a great film though. No, I'm gonna finish things off. I'm going to agree with Dakota over here. I'm going to say that 12 Years probably will win, and it's probably going to be a split between director and best film. I'm only saying that because I've noticed that 12 Years has pretty much dominated as best film. But did Steve McQueen really win anything for best director? Any of the major awards? I don't know.
I don't think so.
What about the BAFTAs? Did he get that?
No, Alfonso won for that too, I think.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong, actually. Actually, I'm going to look that up quickly. While I look that up, any final thoughts on the Academy? Are all of you impressed, happy with the vast majority of it? Are you excited to watch it? Any final thoughts? Adrianna, you go first.
Yeah, it's a good year. It's a really good year for the Academy Awards. Usually I'm highly disappointed with the nominations.
Right.
I really love independent film, and that's usually what I'm mostly watching, and this year, like, a bunch of it got acknowledged, which is really cool. Yeah, no, it's all really good. There's just a couple snubs, but like, I mean, it's unavoidable. Did you guys see the shorts at all?
I saw the live actions and animated.
Yeah, me too. And those were actually, the live action shorts were very impressive, and the animated ones were not.
Which one? Yeah, I feel the same way. What was your favorite live action short?
My favorite live action was Just Before Losing Everything. I thought that was like very intense. It really builds up. You don't know what's happening. Like, you know what's happening, but you also don't for like a good half of it. And then everything, I don't know, they were all really good.
They were.
No, yeah, they were all good. The animated ones, though, I was like falling asleep. I'm like, oh my god.
Really?
You know, it seems like Get a Horse, the Mickey Mouse short.
Yeah.
It played before Frozen. I was super underwhelmed by that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe you're supposed to see it in 3D. I didn't. I saw it at the Bell Lightbox.
It's really, really great.
It just seemed like an episode of Itchy and Scratchy to me.
It's cool.
Wow.
The integration of the old and new. When you see it in 3D, like if you saw Frozen in 3D, because I saw it in 2D when I went to see the animated shorts, and I was like, hey, yeah, I can see how this is a bit underwhelming in 2D format, but in 3D, it's like this old restored version of this Mickey Mouse cartoon that was never released, and then juxtaposed with the 3D technology, and it was just like really cool to have those side by side. But yeah, I can see how it's not that great if you don't see it in 3D. But the other ones were pretty bad. Other than Room on the Broom, which is a bit overlong, it was
that
cute,
one was my
though.
favorite.
Yeah, but the other ones, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Why?
Sean, what about you?
I'm pretty pleased with all of them. Like, this is the first year where I'm taking like the Oscars very seriously. So even though that might not seem like it, but I am. So probably by next year's episode, I would have seen every single film.
Hopefully, and I hope this encourages you to watch more.
No, I liked all of them. Like all the films of the year, top notch stuff right there.
For sure. And I'm just, of course, the Oscars will always be flawed. Like everything will always be flawed, especially when it's best of. I'm probably like my own lists were flawed according to some people. Oh, by the way, it was Alfonso Cuarón who won for the BAFTA for Gravity. Finally found it. Do you think it'd be easier? Anyway, so what I like about the Academy Awards is, yes, a lot of times they get it wrong, but they also get it right. And I like the fact that people like Sean, who are only diving deeper into these kinds of films now, will get like a really good exposure. Like last year, you had Beasts of the Southern Wild and Amour, which people didn't even know about, but now they do, because they dove into these into foreign films, and they dove into the independent film market and all of that. And I like it because in the Academy, you have a chance for a film like The Artist, which is silent, to win. You have a chance for just all of these films that might have come out like at the beginning of the year and just were hidden away to come out and shine. I think it's fantastic. And like I said, the last year this good was 2010, which I thought was really, really top notch. Just so many films came out that were just excellent. And no, we really have a really good this year. So, except for, sorry?
I was just going to say, it's one of those things where, like, the Academy is always going to be filled with politics. And, someone like Joaquin Phoenix may never be nominated again. What's his name? Mickey Rourke not winning because the Academy hates him. There's always going to be those sort of things. But when I was younger, I'd watch a few of the films and be like, oh, I'm so upset that this didn't win. How could this win? All that sort of stuff. But over the past few years, when I've been trying to watch every single one, more often than not, I'm okay with it. I understand, they're going to be the more popular ones as far as the good filmmaking goes, not like films like Short Term 12 or whatnot. They're always going to be snubbed, unfortunately. But, it's pretty decent list. Like, I remember a few years ago when Pan's Labyrinth came out, I was appalled that it did not win Best Foreign Film.
Dude, I love that movie. That's like the only foreign film I ever saw in a theater.
That was the only one of the 5 I had seen. I was like, what is this? The Lives of Others. And then I went out and saw it. And while I still prefer Pan's Labyrinth, The Lives of Others was brilliant. And I was so happy I watched it.
Yeah, it really exposes you to a lot of films you would have never thought to watch, which is great. I just want to make a quick mention about the music in the Academy Awards. I'm just really, really excited that Arcade Fire and Karen O are Oscar nominees for Her, which is really cool. And the score category. Actually, oh my god, I just noticed 12 Years a Slave was not nominated.
Nope, no Hans Zimmer.
And it was so good.
I love the score for 12 Years a Slave. But
great.
Yeah.
What can you do? No, I mean, I really hope the Moon Song's going to win. I don't think it will. I really hope it does.
I think Let It Go is going to win, but Moon Song should win.
It should. I mean, like, I actually learned that on guitar. I mean, it's really easy. I mean, but I just...
It's going to be Let It Go or Happy.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think Happy might win.
I think, if Let It Go does not win by some reason, Happy will be there to pick it up.
Pharrell Williams.
Yeah, with his stupid hat.
Yeah.
Oh, his stupid
Arby's hat.
Arby's hat, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but yeah, it's been a really good year, and I think that this went really well, and just thank you everybody who was involved.
Oh, so, I got one question. So you don't need to say why. Just what's the one film that you're looking forward to seeing in 2014? Mine is Transcendence, and Johnny Depp is in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Adrianna, you go first.
Mine would be Boyhood, the Richard Linklater film that he's been working on for 12 years, and it's a young boy growing up through this film. You watch him age, basically.
Whoa, that's phenomenal. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's Richard Linklater who did the Before series. It's his film. He's been working on it, every summer for 12 years. They've been shooting it, and it's about the adolescence of a young boy from ages 1 to 12.
That's awesome.
Wow. It just won the Silver Bear. Is it called Silver Bear? In Berlin.
Berlin, yeah.
Yeah, it just won the Silver Bear in Berlin, and it did well at Sundance and everything too.
That's phenomenal. What about you, Dakota?
I'm feeling a little ashamed. I haven't really been paying attention too much to things that are coming out. I just saw the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, and that looks pretty fun.
That looks awesome.
Not that it's going to be an amazing film, but I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I love Chris.
especially in her. He was
floating.
hilarious.
He's in everything now.
He's someone I really like. So I'm interested in that. Unfortunately, I don't have a more mature answer to say right now.
That's all right. It was a good question, Sean. Thank you. I wish I came up with that. Now I feel failed as a master of ceremony. So you know what? I hate you. No, but for me actually, like Dakota, the problem is when it gets to the end of the year, I'm so wiped out by all these films that I've been checking out, and because the first 3 months of the next year are usually really lackluster, I don't really pay attention to too much. But one film that I have kept on my radar, a runner-up would be Nymphomaniac, which is Lars von Trier. Which,
I want to see that too.
Yeah, apparently the part 1's really good.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it, and then part 2's not as good or something.
I haven't heard anything about part 2 yet. I hope not.
Okay.
I blame
Are you
Shia
gonna
LaBeouf.
watch like the 5-hour director's cut?
That's what I wanted to do.
I think it just played somewhere. I think it played in Berlin or something.
I hope it comes here. I'll definitely do that. I'll spend an entire day devoted to that, I guess.
It sounds like they're not going to release it as one film. They're going to do it in 2, and then on DVD you can see the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I might just wait then.
That makes sense.
No, but the top film I'm waiting for, actually, this might sound really typical, but I have good reason. Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, which
yeah.
I remember when it was first announced, like early last year, before I even saw Mud. I was like, okay, I get Matthew McConaughey's kind of decent now, but really? Now I'm all for it. I'm 100% hooked. I need to see this now. Matthew McConaughey. It's got who else is in it? It's Jessica Chastain's in it as well.
A lot of people are in it.
Yeah, it's a huge cast. Michael Caine, of course. Nolan regular, I guess.
Anne Hathaway is in it.
Right.
Too.
Oh, that's pretty star-studded.
Casey Affleck, John Lithgow, Ellen Burstyn, whole bunch of people.
Grace.
Oh yeah, Topher Grace is in it too. Yeah, that was like the one name I remembered, but I didn't want to start off with that. It's got Topher Grace in it.
Wes Bentley, the weird guy from American Beauty.
Yeah. Wow, that's phenomenal, and it's another work with his brother Christopher Nolan and
Jonathan
Nolan. There we go. Yeah, and if you saw the teaser trailer for it, it's just like this monologue that McConaughey has over some various images, and you just see him like weeping in his car, and that's it. It just says Interstellar. And I don't even know what it is, but I'm hooked already.
It says November. Oh my god, that's a long way away.
Oh, I know. This is terrible.
Well, that means it has Academy potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unlike even Inception, which came out in July.
That one made it.
Oh yeah, it made it. But I mean, like, if they believe that this is the film, I'm already hooked. I can't. Like, if this is the film, they're gonna instantly start promoting for the Academy around that time. They're that sure of it. That's big promises. Hope it's not a letdown.
Doubt it.
All right, so thank you everybody who attended. We're going to wrap things up with some self-promotion. Adrianna, where can we find you online? There's a few places, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so I have my own YouTube channel / Tumblr page, Fresh from the Theater. I also podcast on the Movie Monarchy podcast, which is part of movie-night.com, as well as I write for them. Cinephi.wordpress.com and moviemezzanine.com are all places you can find me, or on Twitter at Adri Floridia.
There we go. Wow. I feel so underaccomplished now.
No, you shouldn't.
I know. I'm just kidding. Dakota, where can we find you as well, like apart from Live in Limbo?
Well, I guess for as Live in Limbo goes, twice a week I've been doing my Oscar Primer series where I'm recapping about 3 or 4 of the nominated films. That's going to keep going up until the Oscars. So one more week, so a couple more installments of that. On Twitter, I'm at DGAPA. Those are my full initials, so it's a little odd, but I'm working on setting up my own Tumblr for things that don't necessarily fit into structured articles like I do on Live in Limbo, so more just random thoughts put into 1,000-word essays.
Like a diary.
There you go.
Kind of, yes, but more of the ramblings that go on inside my insane brain.
So if you haven't been reading these on Live in Limbo, definitely check out the Oscar primers. They're really well thought out. And if you enjoyed what we all had to say here, definitely check out all of these all of these places that were just mentioned. We'll have them featured in the article. And Sean, where can we find both of ourselves?
Of course, liveinlimbo.com.
Right.
I'm on Twitter at Sean Chin.
And I'm at Twitter at Twitter. I'm at Twitter. I got that account. I'm on Twitter at Andreas Babs.
You can follow the show at Live in Limbo and use the hashtag Capsule Podcast to join in on the conversation. Please subscribe on iTunes as well. As always, you can find the show notes at liveinlimbo.com/capsule.
Do it.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody, for participating. This went really well.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.